We're getting reports that the strike has been relatively peaceful, but it has certainly left commuters affected. Give us a sense where along the route you are and what's the latest from the strike, Sipho.
All right, well, a very good afternoon to you, Natasha, and our viewers at home. Indeed, it has been a relatively peaceful protest here by the taxi operators. It started, of course, early on at Marabastad, but we have since now moved on from that. We are now outside the Department of Transport, where the National Taxi Alliance is handing over a memorandum of grievances. You did mention those grievances, that they include dedicated taxi lanes. They also include asking for subsidies, saying that other modes of transportation, including your trains and buses, they get subsidies but not taxis. Now you would remember that taxis contribute up to 68% of public transportation. That means that up to 68% of the public uses public taxis, and the other modes that are highly subsidized by government of course share a much lesser percentage. And also the taxi industry itself contributes about 300,000 jobs. So what they're saying here is that they're an important element to the South African economy and that they should be taken seriously. We know that from marching here from the Department of Transport, they will be going to the presidency to also issue there a memorandum of grievances, and basically what they want the presidency to answer to is their call for Transport Minister Joe Masengwane to be fired. They've described Masengwane as an arrogant man who has failed to listen to them. They say that they were supposed to strike in October 19th, but they listened to him when he pleaded with them that they should postpone the march. However, since that meeting, the minister has never then come to see them, and they call that behavior arrogant. Now, earlier you also mentioned that some students, rather matric pupils, were affected arriving late for their exams. Well, the National Taxi Alliance says that is not their fault. They say education authorities should have joined them and put pressure to the Transport Department. They said they could have avoided this if the Transport Department did come on board early to listen to them. So they're saying they will not take responsibility for any matriculants that might have missed their exams today, saying that both education and transport officials should have come to the party and negotiate with them in good faith. Now, of course, as I mentioned to you, from here onwards the march is going to proceed to the union buildings, and so far it's been peaceful. Back to you, Natasha.
All right, Sipho, before I let you go, let me just quickly ask you, do they look like they'll continue the strike the rest of the week? Should people make alternative arrangements for transport, or is this just for today?
Well, as far as we understand, the march, the protest is just for today, of course, to just raise their concerns, and of course it's also about showing their muscle as the taxi industry, to say if you don't take us seriously, we can bring this country and this economy to a standstill. Now, of course, there is lots of security and police and traffic officials that are guiding this protest, making sure that from here, from the Department of Transportation to the union buildings, it's about a 3-kilometer route or so, that it proceeds quite peacefully with no disruptions, and so far there hasn't been any of that. But of course there's a lot of security contingency here, both Metro Police and the South African Police Services working together to make sure that it's a peaceful march all the way to the union building.
All right, Sipho, thank you so much for that. Our Sipho Steerman live from Pretoria, where they are outside the Department of Transport to hand over their grievances.